Welcome to A New Breed of Golf. I'm Michael Breed. Today, I want to talk to you about the hot topic in golf instruction nowadays, ground forces. You hear people use ground reaction forces, whatever the terminology. Basically, what they're talking about is how we're using the ground in an effort to get more club head speed out of this club and more ball speed out of that thing right there. And mind you, ball speed to me, most important thing. When you understand how to use the ground effectively, and you have a way of knowing whether you are or you aren't, without all these contraptions that I've got, you don't, but I do, without all these things, all of a sudden now you go, man, I got a chance to hit this ball a little bit farther. Stand in the I want to hit the ball farther line. Yeah, you bet. I'm in there, you're in there, we're all in there. Nobody says no to distance. It doesn't happen. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you through this V1 pressure mat that I have and through my V1 system that I've got, I'm going to show you what a swing looks like that's not really using the ground as effectively or efficiently as possible. And then I'm going to do a swing where I'm using the ground more effectively and efficiently, show you the difference, not just in the motion, but in the numbers, and then you'll see the distance go in. So let me do this. Let me tape this up. Okay, so, and you've got this right over here is going to be a little chart for us. It's going to show us a little something here. Not a chart, but something that's going to help us understand. So let me make sure I get this ball in the right spot. Good. Check that over there. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make a nice, what we call pretty swing. Okay, this is just a pretty swing. So nice swing, 114 miles an hour ball speed, which is right around what I'm kind of playing at. I'm playing about 115. Well, I was until this. So now I got to trim this video up first so that we can compare some stuff. So club comes down into impact here. That's roughly impact. Then I'm going to cut it. And by the way, this is so simple to use. So now what I want you to do is, and Gibbsy, I'm sure you can pull that full, I'm going to have 282 sort of, I'm just going to call it, it's a number, it's like a pounds of pressure. It's not exactly, but it's more or less. That's where we're going with, okay? And what I want you to understand is and specifically what's happening with this lead foot, which is this grayish blue line that's kind of going through there. And then we're going to look at that line and we're going to look at the number here. So when I come down into what is arm parallel, shaft perpendicular, my numbers are I'm about 160 out of that, the lead pressure. I jump it up to about 182 right there. So my body weight is 175. And when I'm looking at this, I want this to be more than my body weight by a pile. The longest hitters, they're about 2 times, maybe even more their body weight. So if I was a long drive guy, that number right there at this particular point might be somewhere between 350 and 400, let's say. Maybe if I'm getting after, maybe even more. But what you can see is that ain't even close. Like I'm at 182. I'm nowhere near 350 on this particular one. And what I get out of that is I get 114 miles an hour ball speed. My 6-iron, which is what I'm hitting, flew about 168. Not my normal distance that I'm going to get, but that's in the neighborhood. That's ballpark. And you can see as I've gone in here, this is a pretty soft usage of the ground. All right. Now, what I'm going to do here, and this one here is going to be somewhere between 122 and 126, depending upon the contact. Not great contact there. 121, so I got 121 in that ball speed. I know it's hard for you to see this, but I got 121 in the ball speed. Carry distance was 184 yards there. So a little faster than what I normally play at. I normally am playing like 115. I did that, and I'm going to get faster than 121, I promise you here. But what I want you to see now are some of the things that took place. So let me get this to where I trim it. And I got this just a little bit thin. So the ball speed isn't going to really reflect the club head speed there, but it's obviously faster than 114. We're talking 7 miles an hour faster. Now, let's just see what we get. So we get into that last spot that we're talking about. And that's roughly where I am, 214, 216. So 216 is my high number, right about there. Max number was 294. So what I ended up getting was I was at 182 before, which is seven extra pounds of weight, maybe Thanksgiving and Christmas, who knows what ended up happening, but it's right around what my body weight is. And now all of a sudden I'm at 216. And that 216, I all of a sudden made a greater impression in the ground. I stepped on that ground a little bit more thoroughly. And when I step on that ground, that means that it feels like there's more weight over there. Okay? And when I get a little bit of this push into there, now all of a sudden I can use the ground more effectively, and all of a sudden I get a little bit more distance. Okay? And what ends up happening is that the peak of this, which is right in this near delivery position, all of a sudden clubhead speed's going to go up. When that clubhead speed goes up, you're going to hit the ball farther. I just got from 2 shots, one was 168, one was 184. So you're talking about 16 yards and 7 miles an hour of clubhead speed, or 7 miles an hour ball speed, rather. That's pretty good. And this one was a miss hit. My expectation was 125, 124. Might have gotten that had I had a little bit better contact. So how do we teach ourselves how to do this? This is a very simple thing to do. So you run down to wherever, and you buy yourself a board. This thing here is 12 inches this way and 32 inches this way. So simple for you to use. It'll allow you, when you get to that 32 inch, you'll be able to hit most clubs, if not all clubs, okay? And then what you're going to do is you're going to buy yourself a piece of 1-inch PVC pipe. And what we do is we put this like this, and then we put this board on this like this, right in the middle. And now what we're going to do is we're going to stand on this. So we get on the board. Now what you can see is that this can wobble, okay? Now, what you're going to do, and this is in the understanding of all the clubhead speeds, high clubhead speeds, long drive guys, all that, this is what they do. They go up, so their body is going to go up. They're going to get light in the backswing. That's what I call light. So you've heard me say this a million times. The lead leg is light. Everything is going to go light. That's why this side of the board is going to be in the air, and you're going to have loaded the trail heel here. So this trail heel gets loaded, but it's a light load. So when we get to that light load, the lead leg is light, and now we're up here. Now what happens is when we start to come down, I want to step on this lead foot, and I want this seesaw to go down. So I go light, heavy, and then push up and light. So the other way we say it is we go up, down, up. Up, down, up is going to give you clubhead speed. So now you just feel this practice. Feel this motion. So you go. Now I don't want you swinging fast here, okay? I don't want you making massive aggressive moves here. And what I'll typically do is I might put a little bit of maybe like a towel underneath this so that the board doesn't slide around on the PVC pipe, okay? But you go here, here, so we go here, tip, and then through and up. And you want to feel this lead leg straighten. So many times, you know, the modern swing versus the historic swing. The historic swing sort of had a very sort of light movement of the knees going forward and very soft in here. Now what you see a tremendous straightening of this leg. Bobby Jones did this. Obviously, Sam Snead did it. That's one of the reasons why they were able to create that. Well, Snead in particular, the sit-down position. He was able to go from a sit-down position, which is that getting heavy or down, to then boom, up. So what we do is we go light, heavy, light. Okay? Light, heavy, light. You get that, and we can put that stuff out of the way. And now what we do is we go here, light, heavy, light. Okay, so up, down, up. However you say it, what you're doing is you're doing exactly what you did when you jumped as a kid. When you jumped as a kid, your arms went up, you went down and up. Everybody jumped as a kid. They went up. Watch a diver on a diving board. They're going to go up, down, and then up. Everything gets thrusted up. Okay, those are just similar motions. So you go up, down, up. And you want to feel like that leg, that lead leg is pushing up right here. Pushing up. Push up. Okay, let's try it again. And then we're going to get one and crush one here. So we're going to go. Okay, that was pretty good. I'm going to hit one more, and then I'm going to tape it. Up, and this is what I recommend. Go slowly at first. Don't do this aggressively at first. So up, down, and up. A little faster ball speed there on that one. That was 117. All right, now what I can do is I can get into recording mode. And then it's time to create some speed. So here we go. There you go. All right, now, that's what I was talking about right there. Come on up to the front here. Look at this. I said to you before what I was expecting was 126 or something like that. 128 for Daddy. I got that 6-iron to go 197. That's what they do on Sundays on a PGA Tour event. 60 and getting stronger. Because that's what happens when you understand how to use the ground. And all of a sudden, and I know I went softly on that very first one that was 168. But you're probably doing that. And now all of a sudden I got 197. That's 30 yards. That's real distance. 30 yards. Also, club head speed, 114 was the ball speed. This thing is 128. That's 14 miles an hour ball speed. And I hit it solidly this time. Now, let me do a little trimming up here, okay? So we'll look at some numbers here in a second. So there's contact. Here's trimming time. Now we go to here, back to here. So now, let's see what we get. There we go. 224. So my other one, I believe my other one was 218, something like that. So this is even faster than that. The total is 295. The peaks are awesome. The separations are great. The club head speed is greater. And so what I want you to appreciate, what I want you to understand is the following. When you want to generate more club head speed, you got to understand how to use the ground more efficiently. And you don't need all this. It's great to have it because you can verify, but you don't need all that. What you need is that board, that PVC pipe. What you need is an understanding of how to get up, down, and up, or light, heavy, light, however you want to say it. What you got to feel is you got to feel this sinking down into the ground in order to push off of that ground and generate more club head speed. When you do that, you're going to get more distance. Now, here's the other thing, and I tell you this all the time. You're developing a skill, which means it takes some time. It's not going to happen overnight. You got to do a little work. When you start to do this work, next thing you know, you're going to generate that club head speed, okay? All right, look, we want to share this information with as many people as we possibly can. So remind you, join us over here on YouTube. Make sure you get here. We've got a lot of content that we're putting out. And let your friends know. Come over to YouTube. Follow me over here at Michael Breed. We're going to be throwing out instructional information for you to improve your game all year long. And we start with adding some distance. Hope you enjoyed it.